Hello, boys and girls. This is Old Man Yells at Cloud for Blue Powder Monkey's Patreon. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure. Yeah, I'm in the screen. All right, cool. Okay. I'm holding off on the music for a second, which I'll get to. Doing a couple posters for Norwescon. I was working on this one last night, which you can find a video for. It's the Norwescon posters video that doesn't have a number. It just says Norwescon posters, while this one has the 02, because it's the second time I've worked on it. And I had an idea last night when I was thinking on stuff, so I'm going to potentially try that out. But first, I need to plug in the text that they want on this, because if you don't plug in the text right away and then you kind of fall in love with this, stark empty image movie poster style or whatever, then when you start plugging the text in, you're like, oh, so I need to get the text in here in a nice ugly clunky way, and then I can start kind of massaging the logo and all the rest of that, which I want to do. Music wise today, I at least initially am in a mood for the song All Dead by Queen, but because I like listening to whole albums, I'm going to listen to News of the World. News of the World was Queen's 5th album, came out after Bohemian Rhapsody, Night at the Opera, which Night at the Opera is considered their masterpiece. I'm not going to strongly argue against that. I think that it definitely is in their peak, because the one before it, Sheer Heart Attack, is really good. Night at the Opera is really good. And actually, I think News of the World, which was kind of like, everyone was like, oh, it's not Night at the Opera. It was like, nothing can be Night at the Opera. So News of the World is still super solid, though. It has We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions on it, written by 2 different people, by the way. Sheer Heart Attack, which weirdly didn't appear on the Sheer Heart Attack album, which is a pretty rockin' song. Spread Your Wings is pretty solid. Sleeping on the Sidewalk is a nice kind of blues thing. All Dead is really good. It's, I think, the only weakness, and it's kind of a weakness on a lot of their albums, although it's hard to say. So it's hard to say weakness when you have, I think, literally all 4 members being elected into like the Songwriters Hall of Fame, right? All 4 of them wrote #1 hits, as far as I know, but their styles were also very different. Brian May is kind of considered like, oh, he was kind of the rock guy, but honestly, Roger Taylor, the drummer, did like rock stuff, and also rock in kind of a David Bowie mix in a way, I guess. Brian May was sort of traditional, kind of old school rock with blues sort of mixed into it, I guess, a little bit. Freddie Mercury obviously did like stuff with the crazy lyrics, and then got into like his disco stuff, which I wasn't a fan of. But then John Deacon, the bass player, did shit like Be My Best Friend, which was like a #1 hit for them. So and I think he probably was pretty solid. My guess is he was pretty solid at like being the guy that helped the other songs like get better, essentially. Anyway, that said, it starts right off with We Will Rock, dunk, 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 dunk. So I needed to like at least get the initial stuff out of the way, verbal wise, before I was like, buddy wasn't, big boy, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. Got mud on your face. Anyway, so let's find all this text. We will rock you. Anyway, you're welcome for the earworm. Earworm. I say inarticulately. Alright. We'll rock you. We will rock you. Oh, this is the one that's supposed to feature the guest of honor. Ooh, all right. Well, let's see how that works out. Should we get copyright struck for that? This is the last channel to get copyright striked. I paid my dues. My sentence, but committed no crime. Mistakes. I made a few. Shells and kicked in my face, but I've come through. Alright. All the champions, my friend. I don't know how many guests of honor there are. I'm guessing 5 or 6. They always want to add some special guest. Five, I say. The publisher is always... The publisher is weird. They're like, oh, we want to be the publisher, but they have to send somebody that represents the publisher, and they end up technically getting 2 fucking spaces for the price of 1, which is a little cheaty if you ask me. Fame and fortune and everything that goes with it. I thank you all. It's been no bed of roses. Pleasure cruise. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. 234 point font. It's fucking ridiculous. I need to actually write these out because otherwise I'm not going to get any sense of... Ah, God, calm down, Queen. Calm down. That is not spelled correctly. She would not appreciate that. Yeah, I cannot type today. I can even tell, and I'm not even looking at the thing, and I'm like, this is all over the place. There we go. These are going to end up stacked. 100% stacked. Actually made some of these. Hold the phone. Heart attack. Uh-oh. Haha. That's funny. I did the same thing. All right, so let's grab. Let's grab all these. Do I need the date and stuff too? Probably. I would think you'd want a date on your poster. Yeah. Are these editable? Please tell me. I bet they're not. Let's get rid of those. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Nice. Okay. Because now I can go down and I can get rid of all of this nonsense. All right, I definitely want the pixels. Or paint stripes, as they're known. All right. And then I did end up having to make like 5 copies of this, didn't I? They're fucking outlined already. All dead, all dead, all the dreams we had. Okay, so let's hold off on that for a second. All dead, all dead. Website, QR code, additional text. No. There's a giant block of text. I don't know that that is the best, but we're going to give it a shot. Because we do not judge. We try. Oh, nothing's locked. There we go. We try, and then, only then, if it fails. Do we reevaluate? Okay. Whoa. Mama. Oh my gosh. All right. Oh, is it because I'd use the display thing like a dum-dum? There we go. Boom. Oh. Give me, I am old, still a child. Dead. What is missing? There we go. Compacta is a cool display font. It's not necessarily the best for fucking reading. So we're going to see. There we go. Speaking of old school, we're going to do a little avant-garde. Oh, look at all that. That's awesome. Boom. It's probably not going to be, well, I mean, it's going to change. March. Oh my gosh. Get that crazy notion right out of your head. So this will probably need to be contained into some sort of box, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Because then I can sort of do colory stuff with it. Alright, so let's just set that there for now. And your wings and fly away. Far away. You're a free man. All right. So, I gotta do all their titles and shit. Okay, hold on. Hotel room. His eyes to himself. Oh. You have a little thing where I can sort of, when I keep the stream open at the same time as the YouTube page and the stream and all the stuff, then stuff starts getting wacky. So because I'm learning all this stuff, so OBS, which is what I stream through, has a little thing where you can sort of monitor to see if anybody's paying attention. Very far. Oh no. No. No, we don't need that now. Goodbye. We might need that. As you know, you're a free man. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Anyone from Affinity, if you're listening, not having a fucking artboard around these things are a huge pain in the ass. A gigantic pain in the ass. With oh, is this all text? Okay, cool. I kinda am over the text part of it, I guess. So yeah, with Illustrator you could yeah, blank space all around you that you could use for an artboard. I mean, it was pretty fucking self-explanatory. And it was really nice. This, not really nice. Convert to curves, I think, is what you do. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna... Betsy with your Y. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen right there. All right, let's go. 2 L's. Ah, that's the Spotlight publisher. A pain in the ass. All right, go down here. Only because I gotta remember the. Anyway, it's not really a pain in the ass. I'm just being a little exaggerated here. I do screenplays, as some of you may or may not know, mostly for stuff that I film, but occasionally I enter contests and whatnot. But in my professional screenplays that I do, I try to get away from a lot of sort of the tropes or the bad habits of character descriptions. There's a whole thing about the way that women are described versus how men are described in screenplays. One of the things I try to do, patting myself on the back. No, I usually, not always, but I almost always refer to a character by their last name. I probably should refer to them as how they are being referred to in the screenplay itself. But I feel like I see a lot of screenplays where like the guys are last name and the ladies are first name or whatever. So part of it is just maybe being a little consistent that way. But it also helps kind of degender them if their gender really isn't an important part of the story that you're telling. And very rarely is gender an important part of the story I'm telling because I'm not in that world. Which, I can do research. I think that writers should be able to write whatever they want to write, but, do your fucking research, right? Don't just make some shit up that you've seen in other shows or whatever. I have a pilot that I'm working on right now, which has a protagonist from Ireland. North Ireland, which is very specific or very important to distinguish. But, while it's not perfect yet, everything, I would, if I ever actually made it into a realsy show, I'd probably want to get, or I wouldn't probably, I would definitely get help. Oh, those are fucking letters too. Okay, cool. From, a Northern Irish author or someone who had a lot more experience than I did. But I am capable of doing research. Most people research. Everyone is capable of doing research. It's just a matter of whether you can do good research, I guess. But yeah, I went through and I had to find a certain amount of sort of slang. I didn't want to do the accent completely in the dialogue because then it's impossible to read. So, but there's more than just the accent. There's like grammar usage, just how different people form sentences is important. So anyway, but even though my middle name is Patrick and my first name is Daniel, like as far as I know, I don't, I'm not Irish, and I may have Irish ancestry, but I certainly wasn't raised in Irish culture or anything like that. So it's like, who am I to write about the Irish? But it's like, you can, you got to be respectful. You got to be careful, and you got to do your fucking research, right? And it definitely can be frustrating, I'm sure, in professional circles when you're hiring someone outside the culture or the race or whatever it is to do the story about the culture and the race when there are people in the culture and the race that are capable of doing the thing. That's what really, that's where the badness is. And it's still not perfect. I do feel like it's I don't know. I don't know if it's getting better or not. That would be up to the people in the middle of it. Okay, that is a bunch of stuff. Holy cow. It's not all going to be white. I know what you're thinking already. I know what you're thinking. That's going to be one of the things I wanted to work on is changing changing colors of the lettering since I have this cool little retro rainbow graphic over here. All right. Bow. You wanna go down, get high, now you wanna cool down. Matt Denman. He is that elusive special guest of honor. Now, here's kind of the danger of the not using font sizes, right? I'm just arbitrarily making everything 5 inches wide, but you know, I don't know if you know this, but some of these names have different numbers of letters in them, and that just automatically makes them different sizes. So that's not great. I, as I have mentioned before, worked on Todd Lockwood's last art book that came out, Found Worlds. So part of me is like, oh, this stuff again. I've dealt with this art so much. But no, there were a few paintings that I liked. I mean, you're going to like, artists are going to like different things out of their paintings and different of their paintings than the viewer will in general, or viewers will in general. And some of that is because the artist has an emotional connection to the creation of the thing. So maybe an artist had maybe a painting was a huge pain in the ass, right? And the artist is like, fuck that painting, like that thing was a huge pain in the ass. And then everybody's like, oh no, it's fucking great though, it was good. And then, you know, sometimes maybe the artist, you know, it was a mercenary work or something, and they're not really connected with it or whatever. That's not super crucial to the story I'm telling. It's just a thing to fill up space. No. But there were some of his paintings that I really liked, and I wanted to see either more of, or maybe I thought they were too small on the page and needed to be more prominent. And sometimes we had those discussions, and sometimes we didn't. And so I've never told even him this story. This is one of my favorite paintings of his, honestly. It's just fucking great. There's like all this motion, right, doing this, and then this, obviously this cape, which is the centerpiece, is great. And then it's classic. It's both sort of classic Todd palette and not. Like he doesn't. I don't know that he does a ton of stuff with this brilliant red, but he does do a ton of stuff with these shades of like green and yellow and brown. This is kind of his. You know, like I think I have yeah. Like this is Todd's palette for the most part. There's more to it. I'm not trying to simplify all of his shit into like these 20 colors or whatever, but you're gonna find this sort of shade of his colors in a lot of his things, and that's all artists are like that, right? I've got palettes in here that I've pulled off of paintings from Geneva. I always fucked up her first name even when I was working on the thing, but Ms. Bowers here, who was the artist guest of honor for Norwescon last year, who was an awesome person, has an awesome painting style, and she had certain color palettes that she used more than other color palettes, right? It's just a thing artists do. So that all said, where's my retro one now? I just lost my ability to use that palette that I had in a second. Oh, because I didn't. Oh, I did choose it. Anyway, There it is. Return info. Anyway, this thing, so it's very Todd, and in some ways it's sort of very, I don't want to say not Todd, but sort of outside his normal box. Um, but yeah, her look back here. I mean, this cape is impossible, right? There's no way you're gonna walk this cape through all these fucking stickers and shit. And I mean, yeah, and it's just, yeah, it's getting clogged on them, sort of like, I don't know. Anyway, it's a great painting, and she's sort of like, oh, she's being chased and she's being hampered by this thing, and the color and all. Anyway, so we only used this painting. Maybe it was in the book, but it was near the end. It was on the flaps, I remember, like the dust jacket, and I kind of did the same sort of deal where like part of it was on one dust jacket, maybe the other side was on the other dust jacket. Can't even really remember now. But I always really liked it. So when I was working with the 4 or 5 paintings that I originally thought I was going to use for this poster, I of course pulled this as one of them, and then that's kind of why this one became the one the poster was going to be, when I figured out that only one piece of art was really going to fit on the poster. I was originally going to do, those of you that didn't tune in last week, I was going to do vertical stripes of different pieces of art, which can be a really cool look, but you really got to dig down into the art and find things that sort of flow together in composition, and I am quite capable of doing that, but at the same time kind of in the time frame that we're working at, because I'm kind of doing 3 different things, it's really easy to do with 2 paintings. I can't say that. It's really easy for me to do that in 2 paintings. I'm guessing it's actually one of those things where it's really hard and I don't realize it's hard because I'm good at it or whatever. But putting 2 paintings side by side to get like a common flow through them, that's something that is part of my palette, so to speak. Several paintings obviously increases the difficulty of the exercise, and maybe that I could come back to it. I also maybe kind of feel that that's a horizontal thing more. It could be a vertical thing too, but it kind of drifted away from that thing, and I'm right now very happy with what's going on here. Hopefully they are as well. We won't know. All right, so that is all the text, or no, they wanted like a website and some shit. All right, so let's open this up, go back to the email. Okay, fucking QR code. Fuck. Norwescon website, which is norwescon.org. Like, I mean, I don't know how hard that could be. Let's see here. Norwescon.org. Oh, I like this song. Which one is this? It's Late, which I think is a Brian May song. Life away. Boom, 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 boom. It's got really good harmonies. Could love you. If I could let you stay. It's late. Hidden deep inside. It's not too bad. It's late, it's late, it's late, but not too late. Everybody, I mean, and rightfully so, talk about the harmonies and the layering and Bohemian Rhapsody and all these other songs, but man, sometimes it's just chorus stuff, right? I'm not saying they're the fucking Eagles or whatever, but there's pretty solid harmonies. All right. seem to let you down. Okay, cool. I just can't believe it's true that I could love you. No, I can't be true. We say we love you. Tell me that we're through. It's late. I have favorite pieces of trivia. Stuff like Hemingway didn't actually smoke cigars, which is an awesome thing to tell people. The other one is that the super high voices in Queen weren't really Freddie Mercury so much. They were Roger Taylor's, the drummer, who had excellent falsetto. Probably still has. She gave me a... Okay. I have a huge problem with... I'm not a super expert in Google Drive, and Google Drive can be a fucking pain in the ass in a lot of ways. Whoops. So someone just sent me a little graphic of like, here's where it's at in the drive, and I'm like, fuck. Although, in their defense, like, links aren't much better because I usually have 4, at least, Gmail addresses open simultaneously. And Google gets confused. They're like, oh, don't you mean you wanted to go to this fucking thing here? And I'm like, no, I do not. This might actually work out okay, though. Looks like it's behaving. General assets? What the fuck is that? Now, see, there's no way for me to tell whether I'm still in 49 or what the fuck I'm in. Yeah, I'm in Norwescon 44 now, for whatever fucking reason. In my life, alive. All right, so I want to go into that. Life, right. Oh, I gotta double click. So late. It's late, it's late, it's late, it's late, it's late. Sorry, I don't know if I have a good singing voice or not. Probably not. Late. Oh, these can't be... Somebody sent a ping. These can't be... Oh, gosh. So I got a bunch of photos the artist guest of honor sent in. Oh. There's no way that any of these are fucking print size. But the artists and writers, for the most part, don't know. what that means anymore. It's just a piece of information that's just been lost. And then the people collecting it, same thing. Just like, it'll work, it's fine. Oh, that's okay, so let's grab Todd because he's a buddy of mine, right? That's as big as that can be, right? Let's examine this thing here. We do a, it's not navigator. Oh, there's my adjustments. I should remember that. Should be able to have a thing that just tells you what the... Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's 300 dpi at size, right? So we're talking about a thing that's barely 5 feet, or 5 inches tall. Take over, and let's grab this guy. Okay. There you go. There's a guy that knows what's up. Huh, there's a lady that knows what's up. Maybe it's just Todd. Do you hear me, Todd? Oh, nope. Okay. Yeah, it's way too small. Yeah, you know what? I don't care about that. What I care about is deleting it. Give a shit what happened otherwise. With the melancholy blue. Oh, nope. Okay, cool. I mean, that fits. All right. So if you don't mind, I'm going to do a little bit of an email because I kind of want to let them know as I'm going along here because time pressures a little bit. There we go. Oops. Now I got to get rid of this queen thing here. I'm going to go back and do a little soundtrack one like I normally do. There we go. Let's start with Equinox this time. Then Logan's Run. Nice. I haven't heard the Logan's Run soundtrack in a while. I think there's some weird... Goldsmith every once in a while did some weird song stuff in the middle of things. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right. Is that Aaron? This is Aaron as well, so okay. Did I? It somehow deleted. No, that was, I'm sure, me like double clicking on the wrong thing. See if this one's bigger. All right. I've never met the writer guest of honor. I doubt it's Cianen. It's probably like Shannon. Speaking of Irish. But because I haven't met them, I have no idea how their name is pronounced. Although they're supposedly really nice. All right, cool. Back on the saddle again. All right, so what we do here now, is we placehold these motherfuckers. All right, let's get that out of here. Placehold all of them, basically. Let's get rid of all this. I don't know why I'm clicking on a goddamn mouse when a stylus exists. What am I doing here? Alright, let's get this out the way. Yeah, let's get rid of all this. All y'all's going away. Okay, where is this picture frame? Oh, it's the big one. Alright, that's DAW. Oh, shoot. I did not. Oh my gosh, really? Why? Okay. Oh. Ugh. Stop with the resource management bullshit. When I push on a thing, I just... Oh, and that's what causes it to delete out of here. I'm glad I remembered that. All right, cool. Some weird little quirk makes it stay selected. Looked like it's selected here, but actually it's selected in my browser doodad. So let's see if DAW publishing logo. Back in the day when things were different, and especially places like book companies and larger corporations would basically have copies of their logos. Oh, that is, website is awkward. They would have their logos on their website. Basically, you could pull them down if you needed to use them for sort of promotional or whatever. Digital book design. Contact about us. Okay, nope. Portfolio. Services, home. Is there a search? Here in here. Nope. All right. Well, let's see if we can find something here. 512. All right. Nope. Okay. So I'm not going to spend all day looking for this thing, because if it doesn't show up on the front page, it doesn't exist on the internet. So, awkward. I guess I can use, all right, so let's try to do this here, right? So let's grab, is this kind of just going to plug into there? Fuck yeah. All right. Finally something that Affinity does competently. I mean, it does a lot of stuff competently. I'm just talking shit. I do like their little interaction thing here. Cool. She is at 225. That's not horrible. Look at that tiny little thing. So cute. All right, so let's just do that. All right, writer guest. Just okay, cool. Well, hold on for a second here, boys and girls. Oh, they're all locked. So I locked them all. Here I am using first names again. All right, what? Yeah, McGuire. There we go. Ooh, that's gonna be grim. 71 DPI. It's not even like web resolution. All right, 64. That's not great either. Is that the right one? Am I pulling out of the... Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. So let's try this. 206. Okay, that's better. All right. And then next up is McDonald's, right? Who's the science? I feel lunch coming on soon. Thank goodness, huh? Yeah, hers is great. She gets the gold star for having a... Gotta cowboy it up a little. That's so awkward. That head. Yeah, that head console composition is... There we go. Alright, and then I got Matt. Let's get his face all big in here. Whoop. His has got to be, yeah, his is good too. Okay. Alright, so that's placeholdery bits. Let's close one of those. Let's go back to here. Alright. So let's try this color thing, because this color thing is going to inform the rest of the color thing. Oh, did I move this shit out of the fucking... it's hers. What are you doing, lady? Getting all moved out the way? Oh, I don't want the picture. I want the goddamn frame. There we go. I love and hate Affinity's freaking, what do they call it? Snapping, or their alignment tools. All right, QR code. It's going to go down here. There we go. And .com. That is not readable. Looks cool though. Like visually looks cool. It's not centered. That may be end up being the only one that's white. All right, so I can create a text frame around this somehow. Well, it is a text frame already. So if I was to do, ooh, nope. There we go. Like, I know there's a thing in here somewhere. All right, I gotta work on the thing above. So let's do a clean copy. All right, we're going to call it for the morning session. I guess I started around noon for this first session because I need to go sit on this a little while and come back to it and see whether that it works or don't works. The initial thing is like, oh, put a white outline around it, but fuck, I don't want to put a white outline around it. I mean, I may end up doing that, but I kind of don't want to. So maybe it has to go back to white. We'll see. But anyway, I'm going to go get some lunch. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll be working on this potentially again today, this afternoon, and definitely tomorrow.